Cape Town is famous for its sun, sea, and the scenery. Cape Town is the beloved tourist destinations for the visitors that world over. It's therefore no surprises that this coastal gem has been voted the best city in the world 7 years running. Robben Islands was used as the various times between the 17th and 20th century as a prison, a hospital for socially unacceptable groups, and a military base. Its building, particularly those of the late 20th century, such as the maximum security prison for the political prisoners, witnessed the triumph of democracy and freedom over appreciations and racism. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Ken from Travel the World with Thorkenn. If you are new from my channel, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and click the notification bell so that you will be notified if I uploaded my new travel experience video. Enjoy watching. Ken from Travel the World with Thorkenn. We stayed in the hotel where the city center area, which is most nearby to the tourist spot and shopping area. This tour to the Robben Islands ran for almost 4 hours and more, having this abundantly and a delicious food before starting our day. We stayed in Cape Town for 4 days and 3 nights, and one of our plans today is to visit Robben Islands, where the place of Mr. Mandela put in jail. The title of the island is one simple and specific. The islands is questions is Robben Islands, a centuries-old detainment center used for the political prisoners, most famously Mr. Nelson Mandela, is apartheid-era South Africa. It is a physical manifestation of the state sanctions, cruelty existing, and the age of the world where only birds can come and go as they please. UNESCO declared Robben Islands a World Heritage Site in 1999. The island is an outcrop of an ancient mountain connected to the mainland, separated from the mainland at the close of the last ice age about 12,000 years ago. Robben Islands, as a part of the Cape Peninsula, was the home of the nomadic San and the Khoi. The first European visitor used is a refugee and as a source of food from the earliest days of their arrival. European used Robben Islands as a place dump there. The Dutch settled here in 1652, and by the 1657, they had established and convict stations on the Robben Islands. They they are keep the first Khoi San freedom fighters who fought against in the invasions of the land. They also bought political prisoners from the Far East. In the 1800s, after the British took over from the Dutch, Robben Islands was used as an hospital, a leper colony, and the asylum for the so-called insane, and a dumping ground for the paupers. When the British began colonizing the Eastern Cape, Robben Islands became the main place for the banishing for the African chiefs, warriors, and prophets who are involved in the wars of the resistance that lasted over 100 years.
Kholihlahla, Nelson Mandela, his Xhosa name was Kholihlahla. I know you know him as Madiba. Madiba is a plain name. So Kholihlahla, it means pull the branch in English, which means Nelson. The name Nelson, he got it from the teacher. It was not on his original name or given by the family. He got that name from the teacher because the teacher could not pronounce Kholihlahla. So on the day that he started the school, say, I'll call you Nelson. So Kholihlahla, that was his name, his Xhosa name. Now quickly, before I allow everyone to step outside, I know we speak our own language. I said, the way also people that say, I said I speak isiXhosa, and I said I asked if I should continue the tour in isiXhosa. Some people they say yes, some people they were like English. Now I want to teach you something in isiXhosa. Feel free to record what I'm about to say to you, so that at least you have a little bit of the African language that you might have here today, or you've been hearing, but it's just that you never heard something what I'm going to say right now to you. What I will say, it's actually in, let me first say it in English so that you understand it when I speak it in my language. It's a skunk that is being rolled down by the hill. As it goes down by the hill, it keeps hitting itself from one stone to another stone. As it tries to reach the ground, it can actually no longer move because all the body parts are actually broken. So in isiXhosa, it will go. Iqaqa liziqikaqika kuqaqaqa iqaqanela qhawuka uqoqoqola maqalo. Iqaqa liziqikaqika kuqaqaqa iqaqanela qhawuka uqoqoqola maqalo. Can you all try to say that together?
In the winter of 1964, Nelson Mandela arrived on Robben Island, where he would spend 18 of his 27 prison years, confined to a small cell that floored his bed and a bucket for a toilet. He was forced to do hard labor in a quarry. He was allowed one of the visitor a year for 30 minutes. He could write and receive one letter every 6 months, but Robben Islands became the crucible which transformed him. Through his intelligence, charm, and dignified device, Mandela eventually bent even the most brutal prison's officials to his will, assumed leadership over his jailed comrades, and became the master of his own prison. He emerged from it the matured leader who would fight and win the great political battles that would be create a new democratic South Africa. The Dark Years is the sections from his memoirs. Mandela's described the harsh and daily routine during the early years on Robben Island. Jack Swartz's story. When Mandela was moved to Victor Verster in 1988, Swartz became his chef, glimpsing private times in Mandela's life, including visits from his wife, family, and colleagues. He recounts some of these, as well as the anecdotes about Mandela's first experience with a microwave, what it was like to drive Mandela secretly around the Cape Town area, and the events of the atmosphere in the days and hours leading up to Mandela's history in 1990 release. The most important person in a prisoner's life, this short chapter from Mandela's memoirs describe his relationship with the warders and how his fellow prisoners devised strategies to evade their jailers and communicate with each other. From 1964 to 1982, Mr. Mandela was incarcerated at the Robben Islands prisons of Cape Town. He was subsequently kept as a maximum security Portsmouth prison until 1988, when after being treated for a tuberculosis, he was transferred to the Victor Vista prison near Paarl. The South African government periodically made conditionally offers of the freedom to Mr. Mandela, most notably in 1976 on the conditions that he recognized the newly independent and highly controversial status of the Transkei Bantustan and agreed to reside there. An offer made in 1985 requires that he renounce the use of violence. Mr. Mandela refused both offers, the second on the premise that only free men were able to engage in such negotiations, and as a prisoner, he was not a free man. Today, there are 130 people living on the island. Security guards, environmentalists, bus drivers, tour guides. Visitor can tour the island by boat, see the prison where Mr. Nelson Mandela was held, or visit the museum dedicated to his life. There are also plenty of opportunities to see wildlife, including penguins, seals, and endemic birds. Now you are thinking, where is the female prisoners on Robben Islands? Incarcerated on Robben Islands were us, the women, and the white males were detained and imprisoned in the mainline jails of Pretoria Central, or Nelstroom, and the Barberton. By the early 1830s, female prisoners comprised at least 10% of the island total prisoners population. Originally a Dutch settlement and later a British penal colony, Robben Island serves many purposes throughout its history. Between the 17th and 20th century, it had been most famous used as a prisoners and hospitals for those deemed social unfit or social undesirable, and a military base in the island. The audience is transported to Robben Islands under apartheid when it was used by the white minority rulings class, the Afrikaners, as maximum security prisons for those isolate and punish political dissidents. This is where we meet John and Winston. What happened to Robben Islands after apartheid? Apartheid ended in the early 1990s. The last prisoners on Robben Island were released in 1991. After that time, it continued to serve as a medium security prison until 1996. In 1997, it was declared a national monument and was transformed into a museum that still welcomes visitors today. Oftentimes, tours to Robben Islands featured tours guide who were either former prisoners on Robben Island themselves or a former guards. In 1999, Robben Islands was declared as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Did you know that since then, three former inmates on the prison in Robben Islands, Mr. Mandela, Mr. Kagalima Montlatha, and Jacob Zuma, have gone on to become a president of South Africa? All land on the island is owned by the nation of South Africa, with the exceptions of the island church. Administratively, Robben Island is a suburb of the city of Cape Town. It is open all year around, weather permitting. Why is Robben Island so famous? Robben Island is the unique symbol of the triumph and the human spirit over adversity, suffering, and injustice. With a rich 500 years old multi-layered history. I'm Ken from Travel the World with Thorkenn. Thank you for your love and support on my channel. Feel free to leave your comments about what did you see or any feedbacks that will help my channel to improve in the future. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and click notification bell so that you will be notified if I uploaded my new travel experience video. Stay safe and take care.